Hello everyone, welcome back to another YouTube video on how I draft my basic bodies. So if you want to see how I draft my basic bodies, just stay tuned and watch till the end of this video. Thank you. So for my basic bodies, I usually draft my front and back basic bodies together. So you are going to first of all divide your paper into two. After that, I'll go ahead and impute my chest line measurement from the front to the back. So my chest line measurement for my front is the same for the back. So after marking that out, I'll just use a straight line to connect. So now I'll be focusing on my front basic bodies. I'll be taking all my vertical measurements for my front basic bodies, which is my shoulder to my nipple point, my shoulder to my under bust, my shoulder to my waistline. You can also call it your front length, so whichever one you use is fine. So I'm taking all that out and I'm going to use a straight line to connect. Then I'll go ahead to label so I don't get confused. So I'll go ahead and mark out half of my shoulder measurements, and I'll be marking this at my shoulder line and my chest line. Then I'll use a straight line to connect. After that, I'll go ahead and mark out my neck width and neck depth. So you use your usual formula for that, and after getting my neck width and depth, I'm going to use my curved rule to connect and form the kind of neckline I want. So now we'll go ahead and take out the 1 inch we added to the shoulder for the shoulder slope. So you just take that out and connect it back to your neckline. After that, you are going to mark out from your shoulder slope to your chest line and get the midpoint of whatever you have there. So now what we are trying to do is create our armhole curve. So after getting the midpoint, you go in by 0.75. Just take a look at what I'm doing. You go in by 0.75. Then at your chest line, you are going to divide your bust circumference by 4 and you will indicate whatever you have there. Now you are going to connect these 3 points together. So your shoulder slope, the 0.75 you went in by, and your bust circumference divided by 4, you are going to connect it together. That is going to create your armhole curve. So after that, you can either choose to start with your waist measurement or your dart measurement, but in this case I started with my waist measurement. So yeah, I divided my waist by 4 and I added the inches I'm going to take out for my dart, and I indicated that on my paper. Now I'm connecting it from my bust line to my waistline. So now I'm going to take my bust band measurements, and the formula for that will be on the screen. So I'm taking this measurement from my nipple point to my waistline, and I'm going to use a straight line to connect. So remember the dart intake I said I added to my measurement. I'm just going to take that out now, and in this case it is 0.5 inch on both sides of the dart line. So I'm not going to connect that directly to my bust point. I'm going to come down from my bust point by 1 inch, and I'll connect my dart lines to that 1 inch I came down by. Note that in a basic bodice, I usually use 0.5 inch on both sides, but if it's in a case where I'm going to snatch the waist, I will take out 0.75 on both sides, which will equate to 1.5 inch of that intake. Now I'm going ahead to get the midpoint of my shoulder slope, and I'll connect that line down to the line meeting at my nipple point. So now I'm creating my shoulder dart basically. So now I'll be going ahead to take out my bust dart. So due to the bust at the front, your back and front length cannot be the same. So in this case, mine is 2 inches, and I'm going to take that out from the nipple point down. So we are taking the measurement from the nipple point, that nipple point line, so not the chest line, the nipple point line. So now I'm moving over to my back basic bodice, and I'm taking half of my shoulder measurement at my shoulder line and my chest line, but in this case I will be adding 0.5 inch to that measurement at my chest line, only at my chest line. So after connecting that with a straight line, you are going to take your back length measurement. This is just your front length minus your bust dart, so that is usually your back length. After that, you are going to connect with a straight line. So now you take out your bust span measurement for the back also. You take it at your back length and your chest line and connect with a straight line. So when you are done with that, you take out your dart intake of 0.5 inch on both sides of your dart line, and you connect to your chest line. So now I'm going ahead to measure out my neck width and neck depth for the back, which is, my neck depth for the back is usually 1 inch or 1.5 inch, depending on what I want to do that day. So now I'm taking my shoulder slope of 1 inch for the back, and I'm going to connect that back to my neck width. So after that, you do the same thing you did for the front. You measure out what you have from your shoulder slope to your chest line and find the midpoint. But instead of going in by 0.75 like we did at the front, for the back we'll be using 0.5 inch because your back is like broader than your front. So now I left that and I came to my back length, and I'm taking 0.75 inches. This is for like your zipper bulge, to like eliminate any kind of zipper bulge. So now you connect that back to your neckline. So you see we already eliminated 0.5 inch at our chest line because of that connection we did. So that is the initial 0.5 inch you added to your shoulder measurement while drafting your shoulder line. So now you are just going to do the same thing for the front. Get your bust measurement divided by 4 and connect the 3 points together to give you your armhole curve. So now you come, after that you come to your waistline. From that new line you went in, you take your waist measurement divided by 4 plus your dart intake and connect all the lines together, and that is it for this basic bodice.